Hello there, my name is Paul. You probably know me from the Daily Teasers, but you possibly also know I'm something of a TV fan and something of a movie fan. Tonight, I have to admit, I've just caught the 5th episode of season 4 of The Man in the High Castle, called, let's have a look at that name here, called Mauvaise Foi. Apparently it translates from French into English as bad faith. It's just something for you to know there. The episode sees Equiano Hampton, the David Harewood character, meeting Belle and Elijah, Francis Turner and Clee Bennett, of the Black Communist Resistance. Black Communist Rebellion, I should say. The group's finally arranged a meeting with Admiral Inaguchi, played by Ijiro Ozaki of the Japanese Navy. He wanted to broker a peace deal. They know Japan's losing the various, or is in a bad military position in the various wars it's carrying out. They want to make peace and get themselves in charge of the Pacific states. And they think they've got a chance to do that until Admiral Inaguchi is shot by agents of the Kempeitai. Or at least Equiano is shot. Admiral Inaguchi is arrested for high treason by none other than our old friend Inspector Kidu. It looks like he's working for the other faction in Japan. The Admiral's faction want to try and get peace with some of the areas so they can concentrate their efforts elsewhere. The faction that Inspector Kidu is working for don't. In other parts of the story, Alexa Davalos' character, Juliana, is helping Wyatt's resistance group out. They seem to have formed a relationship, so they're working much more closely together than they could have done, or had been. Reich Marshal Smith, on the other hand, has crossed the bridge, the Nazi-built parallel world bridge. He's in our world, and he's met with our world's version of Helen, his wife, and our world's version of Thomas, his now dead son. It actually gets quite emotional, that scene. The scenes where they're talking and discussing. There's a scene in segregated restaurant, 60s America still, so black people have it rough. So that scene where the black couple get kicked out of the restaurant is quite powerful to watch. It's interesting to see how the Reich Marshal doesn't defend the couple, whereas Thomas says his version of Dad would. Interesting to see the comparisons. He's a bright lad, Thomas. He's working out something's not quite right. There's also a hell of a powerful scene with the Reich Marshal. The opening of the episode is setting the High Castle World's version in 1946, where the Nazis and the Italians and the Japanese have won World War II, and the Nazis are invading the west coast of the States. John Smith, in that world, in that 1946, you see them having a meal together, or a very minimal meal together with a couple of friends. One of whom is called Daniel, who's Jewish, and is very aware that the Nazi invaders, the people now in charge, don't want him around. We fast forward to the end of the episode here, and it's a powerful section here, where Reich Marshal Smith gets to meet our world's still surviving version of Daniel. And I've got to give Rufus Sewell 10 out of 10 there. It's just the way you see he hugs Al Wood's version of Daniel because he just can't deal with the emotional fact that in our world, Daniel's still alive, but in his world, Daniel isn't, in part because he, Smith, didn't get him off a truck. It's very powerful stuff. It's a very powerful scene. The Smith character is crying like a baby at the end of it. And I have to say, let's put it this way. I have to say that the episode is fairly good. It's not bad, it's not stunning, but it's fairly good. But that one moment where you see Smith at the end of the episode crying like a child because he knows his version of Daniel, his version of the family friend, was killed in part by his inaction. It's powerful stuff to watch. If you're watching the series, I would suggest catching this one forthwith. And I would suggest enjoying it. I know not everyone's going to go for alternative histories, but this series is worth a watch. I'll leave you to it.
It's 23 hours.
I'll thank you for listening to my computer and me talking. I'll wish you a good night. Have fun.